Hello, and welcome to the very first video from Needful Prints. My name's Mark, and I have a very small print farm that I work from in my home in the back bedroom. I never thought for 1 minute at 56 years old I would start making YouTube videos or start anything on social media. The most I've ever ventured into in the past is Facebook. This first video really is just an introduction to myself, to the print farm, have a look around, show you a few of the things that I print, and I'll throw some B-roll in just so you're not fed up of looking at my face and listening just to my voice. So up until about 5 months ago, my hobby was buying 3D prints, 3D models, building them and painting them at home, waiting for them to arrive, building and painting again within a day. I did try and stem it a little bit and take my time over them, but I just enjoyed making them too much, so I flew through them. So obviously the next thought process was, what if I could make my own models? So I did a little bit of research and came upon resin printers. Sorry about that, I've just had to readjust my camera. I'm not used to this, and I had it on a selfie stick and my arm was aching, so I put it on the tripod. Hopefully, if I decide to continue with this, I will get better. So anyway, the first printer I decided to get was an Elegoo Mars 4 resin printer. I loved it from day one. Printing my own models on demand whenever I wanted them was amazing to me, and that was a fraction of the cost. Trouble was then I found that I had a hard drive full of these STL files for models that I just could not print out fast enough. So I thought, time for a second printer. Mars 4 was great, but it was only a very small build plate. And I thought, I'll get another one, bigger build plate. So a little bit more research, and I plumped again for the Elegoo. But this time I went for the Saturn 4 Ultra. Then I was in my element, pumping out models left, right, and centre, building, painting, printing the next one. But I'm sure this must be true for everybody or most people that start out first time 3D printing. It's extremely addictive. So it was only a matter of time before I was thinking of my next printer. This time, after a bit of research, though, I decided to go for an FDM trim printer. And after some research, I discovered the Bambu Lab A1 combo. And what a revelation that turned out to be. What a fantastic printer the A1 is. The ability to print models virtually straight out of the box with that. So easy to use, even for an old beginner like me. I actually love just creating something from nothing, basically. The 3D printing process still amazes me now. But as I said, it was an addiction, and 6 months later, I have 12 3D printers, and one on the way. I've just ordered the new Bambu Lab P2S. That should arrive in the next day or two. I also recently added, in the last week or so, a Creality A1 laser engraver and cutter, which has been amazing. I'm still learning that, but it was easy to use straight out of the box as well. And I love being able to combine 3D printing and the laser engraving into one. So we'll go have a quick tour of the workspace. So I currently work full-time as an events manager. This is my home office. You'll have to excuse the mess. I'm currently in the middle of rearranging everything and moving some of the print space into here. So these are some of the models that I used to print, and I don't really do many of those anymore. And I mentioned that I have an addiction to 3D printing. Well, as you can see, I also have an addiction to 3D printing filament. So this is my current stock, with more on the way. let's go on in. So this is the small print room with a lot of printers. This is where I do my photography. And the workbench with a few things going on at the moment. So the very first printer I got was the Elegoo Mars 4 and the Mercury wash station as well. Got a Sunlu S4 filament dryer. Don't really need it much in the UK, but a couple of times I've had to dry some PETG. So then we have the little A1 Mini, which is an amazing, amazing printer. Then we have Bambu A1 and another Bambu A1, both with top mounts. Then I have the Bambu Lab P1S and the Bambu Lab P1S and another Bambu Lab P1S. Then we've got another Bambu Lab A1 and another one and another one. Then we've got the Creality Falcon A1 laser printer engraver. Then that's the Elegoo Saturn 4 Ultra, great printer, and the Elegoo wash station and cure station. And then the big printer, I'll have to step back a bit for this, which is the Elegoo Neptune 4 Max. Went for that because some of the things I wanted to print just I could not fit them without cutting them into parts on the other printers I had. So this has been a great printer. So when I first started 3D printing 6 months ago, it was just for myself, printing models to build and paint myself. Then I found I was landed with a large inventory of models that I was running out of space for displaying. So I thought, why don't I try and make some money out of this? I started selling a couple of models on eBay, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do. I have a real passion for talking to people about 3D printing, explaining the process of 3D printing to people. And when people, especially young children, are really fascinated, I get a lot of young kids coming up to me saying, oh, I want to buy a 3D printer, what can I get? And I love going through it all with them. But why don't I do markets, local craft fairs? That way I can actually be hands-on and I can talk people through what the models are, how they were made. So I support about 12 designers through Patreon, which gives me a commercial license to sell these prints. So I thought I'll find a local fair. I'll go along and see what happens. The first market was amazing. I couldn't have wished for better. The people were intrigued at what I was doing. I know this is a big thing, 3D printing in America, places like that. But UK, you don't see many 3D printing stalls at markets about. There's the odd one. So people were genuinely fascinated and interested in it, especially when I explained the process. Sorry, I think one of my lights has just gone. Not sure if I should be having two pointed at me anyway. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, back to the markets. So I thought the next markets I do, I'm going to take the A1 Mini. It's small enough, portable enough, set it up on the stall, have something printing through the day, brings people in and gives them a bit more insight into what the process is. I've got about 8 or 9 markets now lined up until the end of the year. which I'm really looking forward to. But I really want to get online and start selling things. Etsy, Shopify, starting to set up TikTok shop maybe. I think I said tip-top shop then. I meant TikTok shop. I've just recently started getting into 3D modeling to create my own things, which is a big learning curve. I've been mainly using Tinkercad, which I know it's not very advanced, but it's good for me for learning. And hopefully I'll advance onto something a bit more advanced once I've got confidence to do it. So as I said, I'm just in the process now of setting up an Etsy shop, Shopify and TikTok. But as I said, I'm 56 years old and I've not had very much social media experience at all. So this is quite daunting for me. And even being on camera now, I did consider just doing voiceover for this because I'm not confident on camera. But I thought, no, just take the plunge. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Basically, I've got all the gear and no idea. So I think that's probably where I'm going to wrap this video up for the time being. Hopefully, I'll be back. If this gets any views at all, it might boost my confidence to do another one. So if you're still watching at this point, thank you for sticking with it. I understand it's not the best of videos. It's my first one. Maybe I might do some day in the life videos. I do a lot of printing, so I could probably make a lot of content. I think this is the point I'm meant to tell people to like and subscribe. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. I think I might have 2 subscribers at the minute, which is probably my wife and my daughter. And I'm sure if my dog could subscribe, he would. Bump me up to 3. Please feel free to leave a comment, even if it's just to tell me, don't leave your day job. Wouldn't be offended if you told me that, because I realise this is quite amateur. Everybody has to start somewhere, I suppose. So thanks for listening, and please let me know down in the comments if there's anything you'd like to see me do or not bother doing. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye. Just a little addition. I just realised that I spent the whole video not looking at the camera, but looking at my screen. So I will rectify this for future videos. Sorry.